It is a Saturday night. You were sitting at the kitchen table. The food is still on the plates. Neither of you is eating. You had the argument again. Not a screaming fight. Those would almost be easier. This was the quiet kind. The kind where one of you says it's fine and both of you know it is not. The kind that ends with someone leaving the room, and the real subject, the only subject, was never actually spoken out loud. It was money. It is always money. According to the American Psychological Association, money is the #1 source of conflict in American relationships. Not communication, not compatibility, not distance, money. And according to a study by SunTrust Bank, 35% of couples who reported relationship stress named finances as the primary cause, 1 in 3. And the terrifying part? Most of them never had a real conversation about it. They just kept sitting at the table, eating less, saying less, until one day there was nothing left to save. The Stoics understood something about this that modern therapy and financial advice both miss. The money is not the problem. The money is a mirror, and most people cannot stand what it shows them. Stay with me. Here is what is actually happening in relationships where money causes conflict. It is not that one person spends too much. It is not that there's not enough income. It is not even the debt, though the debt is real. The actual problem is that money in a relationship becomes the language people use to talk about things they cannot say directly. When she checks the bank account without telling you, that is not about money, that's about trust. When you hide that purchase, that is not about money, that's about shame. When you argue about the credit card for the 4th time this month, you are not arguing about the credit card. You are arguing about who you each believe the other person really is. Psychologists call this displacement. The real feeling, shame, inadequacy, fear, is too painful to name, so it attaches itself to something concrete, a number, a purchase, a bill, and you fight about the number, because fighting about the number is safer than saying, I am afraid I'm failing you, or I am afraid you are judging me, or I am afraid this is already over. This is the mechanism. This is why financial advice never fixes the relationship, because the relationship was never really about the finances. 2,500 years ago, a man named Seneca sat in Rome and wrote something in a letter to his friend Lucilius that should be printed on every marriage certificate in America. He did not write about budgets, he wrote about what money reveals about a person's soul, and he was right then and he is right now. Lucius Annaeus Seneca was one of the wealthiest men in the Roman Empire, and he was deeply suspicious of his own wealth. He watched men around him, powerful men, rich men, destroy their marriages, their friendships, their health in the pursuit of money they already had. He watched them fight at dinner tables just like yours, and he wrote about it with the precision of a surgeon. Because Seneca understood something fundamental. The way a person handles money is the way a person handles fear. And fear, when it lives inside a relationship, becomes something else entirely. It becomes resentment. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor. Read that again. Seneca is not talking about a bank balance. He is talking about the interior condition of a man who has made money the measure of his inadequacy. And when that man enters a relationship and the money is not where he needs it to be, the shame he feels about the money becomes the way he treats the person sitting across from him. Not because he's a bad man, because he has never separated his worth from his wallet. The first Stoic practice is called the money confession. Not to a therapist, not to a financial advisor, to the person sitting next to you. Here is how you do it tonight. You sit down, no phones, no laptops, and you say 3 sentences. Sentence 1, here is what I am actually afraid of when we talk about money. Sentence 2, here is what I have never told you about how I feel about our finances. Sentence 3, here is what I need from you, not money, from you. That is the exercise. 3 sentences. The Stoics called this prosoche, self-examination, not brutal self-criticism, not performance, honest interior inventory, spoken out loud. Seneca wrote, retire into yourself as much as you can. But here's the part most people miss. He also wrote, associate with those who will make you better. The person you chose, they're supposed to be that person. Let them be. The second Stoic practice goes deeper. Epictetus, the man who was born a slave and died the most free man in Rome, taught something he called the dichotomy of control. What is in your control, what is not? And here's how it applies to every money argument you've ever had. The number in your bank account, not fully in your control. The economy, your job, your debt from before, not in your control. But the story you tell yourself about what that number means, in your control. Whether you hide the statement or show it, in your control. Whether you choose shame or honesty tonight, in your control. Most couples fight about the number when the only thing they can actually change is the story. Here's the practice. Take the last money argument you had, write down every element of it, then draw a line down the page. Left column, things outside our control. Right column, things we chose. You'll find that the entire fight lived in the right column. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Epictetus did not say, fix the economy. He did not say, earn more. He said, use what you have, your honesty, your presence, your words. The rest will arrive or it will not, but the relationship is decided by what you choose to control right now, tonight. The third and deepest practice is this. Stop being a person who manages money. Become a person who manages meaning. Here's the difference. A person who manages money looks at the bank account and feels defined by it. A person who manages meaning looks at the bank account and asks, what does how I feel right now tell me about who I am? Marcus Aurelius, who was the most powerful man on earth, wrote in his private journal, never meant to be published, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The financial struggle in your relationship is not the obstacle. It is the exact place where your character is being decided. The couples who survive money, and more than survive, who grow because of it, are not the ones with more money. They're the ones who decided that the money problem was an invitation to know each other more honestly than comfort ever would have allowed.
Marcus Aurelius wrote that in his journal, not for history, not for you, for himself. He was reminding himself, because even the most powerful man in the world had to remind himself every single day who he was choosing to be. You do not need more money tonight. You need to decide what kind of person you are going to be about the money you have. 3 things tonight. 1. Sit down with no devices and say the 3 sentences. What you are afraid of, what you have not said, what you need. 2. Take the last money argument you had and split it down the page. What was outside your control, what was a choice. 3. Write this down somewhere you will see it tomorrow morning. The money problem is not the obstacle, it is the invitation. That is your work for tonight. Not a budget, not a spreadsheet. One honest conversation. Thank you for watching The Broke Stoic. Ancient wisdom, modern money, and real results every week. Subscribe if you are ready to think differently. See you in the next one.